Hey guys, Timcast music producer Carter Banks here, wanting to wish you a Merry Christmas. We just signed our first artist to Trash House Records, and we have our first debut single coming out December 12th. Pre-save it on your favorite stream platform at trashhousechristmas.com. Support our work.
We have this article from Yale.edu. Cancers in younger adults are on the rise. Why? Veda Giri of the Yale Cancer Center explains what research is telling us about the alarming uptick in cancers among younger adults. This from November 4th. They say the medical community is noticing a rise in cancer diagnoses for adults under 45, up nearly 80% since 1990. Dr. Veda Giri, Division Chief for Clinical Cancer Genetics and co-director of the Early Onset Cancer Program at Smilos Cancer Hospital. And yeah, it's a long name. Wow. And he's going to say that he's got more details in this video. Now, we also have this story, seemingly unrelated, from September. Insect populations drop even without direct human interference, a new study finds. Well, that's strange. Are y'all familiar with windshield phenomenon?
Yep. Yes.
This is for older folks, you know this for sure. For younger people, they don't really know it. When I used to go on road trips with my pops, the car would be splattered with bugs, just the whole thing caked. And you'd have to pull over in a gas station and clean the windshield off frequently. I remember we were stopped at one gas station, there were mayflies everywhere. These days, not so much. Lightning bugs, gone. Now, what the scientists have told us, and the reporting has been, is that this is caused by human activity. This is caused by noise pollution and light pollution and pesticides, particularly. However, we've also done studies. We have this one right here from NPR, this one only from a couple of months ago, that even in remote locations, insect populations are dying off. So what can cause cancer? What can kill off large amounts of insects? What can cause cell networks to go down and power grids to fail?
Cosmic radiation.
Cosmic radiation. But hold on. While the sun is currently at solar maximum, and I defer to Ben Davidson on this one, the bigger question is the magnetosphere weakened to the point where this is affecting everything? Wow. And the fact is, the answer is the magnetosphere has weakened. So let me pull this up. And I'm going to explain why. It's just a hypothesis, okay? Hypothesis means untested general idea from looking at the facts.
Let's see.
So right now, according to Google's AI, Earth's magnetosphere is weakening, losing about 10% of its strength in the last 160 years, the significant weak spot called the Southern Atlantic Anomaly. I actually think Jess posted, I think I have the post she made, maybe I can try and find it, showing how quickly it has expanded.
Or Jess?
Yep, I got it right here. Jess, thanks for posting that. This is how quickly, this is called the South Atlantic Anomaly. This is a hole in the, a dent, I should say, in the magnetosphere. It has expanded in, I believe, in just about 11 years, the size of Europe.
Can you do that
Theory.
again? Back and forth again?
Yeah. Let's play this for you guys.
The dark blue? The dark purple,
Yep.
I mean?
So this right here is where it currently is.
Gotcha.
This is 2014 where it was.
Oh, I see.
So this anomaly is likely due to core fluctuations or something like this. Open-minded approach says, here's how much of the South Atlantic anomaly has spread in just 11 years. This region has an extremely low magnetic field and it's expanding rapidly. Scientists act baffled as they don't know why it's growing, but in reality, they don't want to admit that we are in a geomagnetic excursion because that would open rabbit holes that will cause global chaos. It's the main reason why the elites are building doomsday bunkers. Now, again, conspiracy theories usually when people are connecting dots that don't need to be connected. And I always try to be careful of this. But when I see all of these things in front of me, I don't say, this proves it. I say, now that's an interesting idea, isn't it? Insects that fly at higher altitudes, I don't mean high altitudes, they literally fly above us, even a couple hundred feet, are very susceptible to cosmic radiation. And they have done studies that have found this, that during solar storms and peak solar activity, there are insect die-offs. Insects will die instantly because they get hit by the radiation. They start spinning randomly. Their brains don't work properly. If the magnetosphere is weakening, it doesn't matter if solar activity is increasing. More solar activity is going to hit the planet.
You know what this also aligns with is the discovery and proliferation of electricity. Like 150 years, basically?
Indeed. The Carrington event in the 1800s, the big one. If that happened now, it'd wipe everything out.
I was like,
our technology fried.
First thing, my thought process was, why did we develop electricity right before this pivotal moment in human history? But then the second thought was, is electricity contributing to the weakening of our magnetosphere?
No, I don't think so. I think this is the
develop electricity.
Discovered.
well, we developed infrastructure to generate and transport. Now, here's the thing. When I was talking with Ben Davidson about this, like maybe even a year ago, and I've since talked with him a bit more. You guys are really following me. It's very interesting stuff, and I like what he does. I appreciate it because it's not pseudoscience stuff. He's actually using legitimate space reports, space weather news. I verify this stuff, and then he infers upon. Now, you don't have to believe his theory about the axial tilt or whatever. That's just his hypothesis. You're allowed to think what you want to think, but he actually approaches the data to the best of his ability. I respect that. I asked myself, if it were true that there was going to be a Carrington event, this is, for those who are not familiar, in the 1800s, a massive coronal mass ejection. I think it is like solar flare blasted the Earth, the big one they call it. They believe if that happens, it's going to short out all of our electronics, and it's going to knock us to, they say to the Stone Age, but theoretically humans can rebuild rather quickly. However, Ben Davidson said he believes that by 2040, it will not just be that the poles reverse, which leaves us completely exposed for a week or two, meaning everything's going to get fried, but that there's going to be a tilt of the axis, which causes flooding and reorients the continents. Antarctica would be in the equator.
The day after tomorrow.
Now, maybe that's not true. I don't know. But I asked myself, if that were true, what would I do as a world leader? I'd build emergency bunkers, right? Surprise, surprise. Billionaires and elites have been building emergency bunkers all over the place. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, very famously in the press, building emergency bunkers. I would prioritize the creation of alternate energy sources. Why? Landman laid it out really well in that viral clip where Billy Bob Thornton walks out and he sees the wind turbines. And he goes, and then the young female liberal lawyer says, green energy encroaching on your turf? And he goes, not green. Alternative. These wind turbines are here to provide electricity to the pumps to get oil out because transmission lines are too far away. They didn't build wind turbines to generate clean energy. They built wind turbines to access electricity in areas without transmission lines. So, what would you do if you were global elites and you knew that this was going to happen in 20 or 30 years? You'd say, we need emergency underground bunkers. We also need the ability to generate energy from anywhere. We're not going to have power plant transmission lines going to oil pumps. So how do we pump the oil? We're going to need wind turbines, solar panels. We're going to need them protected, shielded. The ones that they're putting out there aren't so much, so I'm not saying it all fits perfectly. Then, when the event begins to start happening, like the anomaly is expanding, the excursion is happening, the elites are building mountainside bunkers. They're selling silo bunkers. Zuckerberg famously in the Hawaiian Islands growing his own beef. What's he preparing for? When the event happens and it knocks us to the Stone Age, the poles that are going to flip. We don't know if that's going to happen now or whatever, but it is believed that we are looking at, there are patterns suggesting it may be now. We are overdue geologically for a pole shift. So it's about at once every 450,000 years, and I think we're well past that. Mainstream science saying, no, it's not going to happen, but we are in officially an excursion. So if you look up, you can see the North Pole has been drifting away and moving. Some people believe, and maybe they're wrong, I'm trying to be careful, that we're about to see the poles reverse. When they do, it will leave the Earth exposed with no magnetosphere or a very, very weak one to solar radiation, which will fry all of our electronics, kill off all the bugs. It'll send us to the Stone Age.
Wow.
And the powerful elites then go into their bunkers where they can survive for several months with no problem. Then they emerge, put up the wind turbines that they've had, in facilities that are shielded or whatever, or they're disconnected so they don't fry themselves. Put them up, pump the oil, and restart the machine.
One thing that I think is, sorry.
You go, let me say this because I'm going to go to the bathroom after this. Is that the third thing I would do as a world leader was get people into space as quick as possible, colonize space as quick as possible, in addition to bunkers and relatively other forms of energy. Jonathan.
Oh, awesome, Ian. You're going to love it. So when you come back, check this out. So I think that we won't make it to that point, right? Because
2040?
Yes, no, like as in we definitely could, but like you look at what's happening with the rising cancer, right? So if we are at the 50%, which is true, then if it doubles, which is set to within the next 10 years, and so if that's like, just so you get my facts straight on that, that's 100% of people then getting cancer within their lifetime. Okay, so then that might be that you get it like younger, later, whatever, but if you don't have the treatment to deal with that, and it progresses from stage 1 to say 3, 4, then that's already over now for you. And like great podcaster Seth Holhouse, Man in America, he just texted me tonight that I hate to say this on air, but like that his dad died tonight, and he told me that his dad died tonight, and I hate that these things are happening to people, and people need solutions now, right? So reference back to when Mel Gibson went on Rogan and said that he had 3 friends with stage 4 cancer, and they're all free from cancer. And did anyone remember the clip?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, I got a good story. And he's wild-eyed. I had 3 friends with stage 4 cancer. I had serious things going on. They weren't going to make it. And then they're all cancer-free. And then Rogan says, well, what do they do? And then he starts listing things, and he goes to anti-parasitic protocols. And then he mentions something that I can only say in code, which would be Mary, Sam, their letters. Okay, and Charlie, Derek, Sam, their letters is the same thing, and that is what they use to get better, just so you know, and it's basically free, just so you know, but I can't say it on this platform. The other thing they used was red light therapy.
I wonder...
With methylene blue and that.
Is it all just random happenings, right? It seems like everything's empty. In New York, it certainly doesn't feel empty, but they've turned some streets into walking markets. So the traffic has certainly gotten better, and then artificially been made worse by these walking markets blocking streets. I've heard it go both ways. Some people said, nah, traffic's still really, really bad in Manhattan. I've also heard from other people who have lived in Manhattan a long time saying, actually, it's been better. I wonder what went down during COVID that actually changed everything. So let me put it this way. We know it did. We know everything changed. And I'm not talking about forced medication or anything like that. I'm saying behaviors, retirements, the closing of businesses was obvious because they were forced to. But I'm wondering why now, the aftermath. Why is it that businesses haven't come back? Certainly people need to eat, right? So restaurants should have popped right back up, but they didn't. Valet service at the races never came back. Why is that? Where is everybody?
Yeah.
Why does it feel like there aren't that many people?
We've got to give people solutions. That's what I'm saying. And if the long COVID thing is an issue, you got to look at solutions for that. Like, look at the European Society of Medicine, how they did a study on 62 people with severe long COVID. Red light therapy was 100% effective in all 62 out of 62 cases for complete resolution of every symptom, oxygen above 97%, resolution of dyspnea, cognitive decline, and that was 60 of the 62 had that complete recovery within a single week. Right, so that was on red light therapy. This is a before and after on red light therapy. That is a cutaneous B-cell lymphoma, and that was after 2 sessions. This is on PubMed. 2 sessions of red light therapy with photosensitizer like methylene blue.
We do have to jump to chats, but I want to ask you one quick thing.
Yeah.
What is red light? Is there a simple function that it does?
Yes. Yeah. So in this case with cancer, it's called photodynamic therapy. So you take something like methylene blue 30 minutes before you take it, and then it will absorb into the tumor cells, and then the light will penetrate and cause the production of reactive oxygen species like singlet oxygen, and that will cause apoptosis of cancer cells.
So I will always say, talk to your doctor, right? You know, we're not I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
We always tell people seek second opinion and medical advice. Don't get your medical advice from podcasts. But the reason why I ask this is because I saw a bunch of ads for red light therapy, and I'm just like, it's so stupid. And people were like red lighting their balls or whatever. And then I had a baby, and they explained to us blue light therapy. Yeah. And I said, what's this? And they said it's a very common thing they do for babies if there's a concern about, I think it's bilirubin levels.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what the blue light does is it converts, I could be totally wrong, but it converts the bilirubin to a more, it makes it easier to break down for the baby's body. Mm-hmm. So when babies are born, there's a chance they're jaundiced. They have high bilirubin, and their little bodies struggle to filter it. So what they do is they put a blindfold on the baby, turn a bright blue light on, which it's literally blue light. And it hits the skin, penetrates the skin, breaks down the bilirubin or converts it so it's easier to break down, and the baby can process it, and it resolves the jaundice really quickly. When I saw that, I was like, hey, wait a minute. You're saying colored light changes stuff in our body, and it's used in hospitals for babies all the time? And they're like, yeah, it's like every single day. It's like 5 times. And then I was like, oh, so the red light actually does do things within you. So I find it interesting.
Yes. That changed. Yeah, it's changing countless people's lives. The Nobel Prize was won in 1903 for using light therapy to reverse disease. And it's getting used to reverse thyroid disease, prostate cancer, breast cancer. It's 40% drop in 24 hours in triple negative and non-triple negative in vitro, 400% increase in the ability to put prostate cancer in remission. That's Lancet Oncology. Thyroid conditions, that one study showed 96% of the Hashimoto's thyroiditis women with enlarged thyroid went to regular sized thyroid after 3 weeks of treatment. These are blockbusters and across the board: depression, PTSD, insomnia, pulse electromagnetic field therapy.
You overdose?
Not really. You kind of can with a couple of hours. That long COVID study was 64 to 84 minute long sessions, so they're longer sessions. But yeah, game changer. And I got that gift for you later if you
right on. I know. Yeah, we had when we were at Turning Point. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.